Okay, so this is the second part of water, and it is about water of crystallization and reaction of metals with water. In your book, I don't think there are such parts, but there are these topics, right? So these topics will be there in some form. First, water of crystallization. See, the definition is given over here. The fixed number of water molecules that are in loose combination with one molecule of a salt are called water of crystallization. The salt which contains water molecules is called hydrated salt. So first understand that they are talking about fixed number of water molecules which is in loose combination with one molecule of a salt. Suppose the salt is CuSO4, copper sulfate. Do you see that with the copper sulfate salt or with CuSO4 there is a dot and 5H2O is written after that? What is this 5H2O? This 5H2O is the water of crystallization, basically loosely combined molecules of water. How many molecules? 5 molecules. Loosely combined, not in a very strong combination. They are combined chemically, but loose chemical combination. Okay, so these are the water of crystallization molecules. Water of crystallization molecules. CuSO4 dot 5H2O. In a similar manner, FeSO4 dot 7H2O. Na2CO3, there is no dot in between, then dot 10H2O. MgSO4 dot 7H2O. ZnSO4 dot 7H2O. So these molecules of water which you see are known as water of crystallization molecules. They are in loose combination with the molecules of salt itself. And due to this water of crystallization molecules, there are two things which are imparted or given to the salt molecule. One is color and the second is crystalline structure or shape. Have you seen sodium chloride salt? नमक केमिस्ट्री 8th में पढ़ रहे हो तुम. Sodium chloride salt, common salt, table salt which you eat. Does it have a crystalline shape? Not always. It is in powdered form. Sometimes it is found in the form of pieces, rocks. ठीक है? But generally it is like dry. ठीक है? Does it have any color? No, it is white in color. ठीक है? So that sodium chloride is always dry or anhydrous. So some salts which do not have water of crystallization, they are dry salts, and the other name for dry is anhydrous. Always. Sodium chloride is never hydrated. But the salts which have some molecules of water of crystallization, they are known as hydrated salts. So hydrated salts will be recognized very easily. They will have some color and they will have a definite geometric shape called crystalline shape or crystalline structure. They will look like crystals. So how would you know that a given salt is hydrated or anhydrous? It's very easy. Suppose you have sample of some salt, okay, which let me show you with an example. Which looks like this. Do you see this? It has a crystalline shape like crystal, and it is blue in color. So it has two characteristic, you can say, features which are visible. One is the shape, crystalline, and second is the color. These two things confirm that this is a hydrated salt. So hydrated salt do not only come in blue color, they come in variety of colors. यहाँ पे दिए हुए colors. Copper sulfate is blue, iron sulfate is green, बाकी तीन white दिए हैं. That is just for these three, but there are other different colors of salts found in nature, pink or red, different colors of salts, and those are all hydrated. Because of the color and the shape, we can make out that they are hydrated.
So, sir, where are this kind of
Salts found? They can be artificially made in laboratory. They can be created by a neutralization reaction. मैंने बताया था last time. Acid plus base gives salt plus water. So that salt is formed in maybe crystalline shape, or you can say hydrated form. So it will look like that. Or they are also found in nature. They can exist in nature, in the minerals, or they can be formed in a laboratory. ठीक है? So they have this distinguished color or the crystalline shape or both. Then they will be called as hydrated salts, crystals of hydrated salts. And what is the speciality? They will contain water of crystallization. Now what happens when you if you really want to check whether this is a hydrated salt or it is just some another salt which does not have water of crystallization. जैसे एक example मैं देता हूँ तुम्हें, rock salt. Have you seen rock salt? Exactly. So rock salt is little pinkish in color and it is crystalline in shape. It has color as well as shape. But still, it will be called as anhydrous. Anhydrous meaning dry. Why? It has shape and color. Then why it is known as anhydrous? Because it does not contain water of crystallization. It is naturally like that. And that's very few salts are like that. One example is of rock salt. Okay. Now, if you want to really find out that it is anhydrous, there is a very easy way. You take a little tiny amount of rock salt in a container and heat the container from beneath. You know what will happen? They will not change their color. They will not change their color. On top of it, you will hear a sound, that is crackling sound. This crackling sound is known as decrepitation. Decrepitation is like breaking down or disintegrating of the salt particles. The salt particles will disintegrate, but that means they have started melting, but it will not lose its color. So it proves that this is anhydrous. So what will happen when you heat a hydrated salt, like let's say copper sulfate? No. Suppose you have a container in which you have some amount of hydrated copper sulfate. ठीक है, like crystalline blue colored copper sulfate, and you heat it from below. When you heat it, after some time, it will become like a white dry powder. You see what happened? It lost the water of crystallization on heating. Those water of crystallization molecules were loosely combined with copper sulfate salt. You see this 5H2O? Those were loosely combined. On heating, they immediately got evaporated. So what will happen? First thing, it will lose the color. Initially, it was blue. Then it became white or colorless. Initially, it was crystalline. It had a definite shape, crystalline. Now it has become powdery. ये पाउडर को भी केमिस्ट्री में एक नाम दिया गया है, इसको बोलते हैं एमॉर्फस मतलब पाउडर, ड्राई. क्या वो रॉक सॉल्ट के साथ ऐसा हुआ था? Did the same thing happen with rock salt? No. Rock salt did not become a dry white powder. It remained as it is and it started crackling. It went into the process of decrepitation. That is, it started melting. This will not melt copper sulfate. From blue crystalline solid, it will get converted into white dry powder. That means what has been removed from it? Water of crystallization. अभी समझ में आया water of crystallization क्या है? ठीक है, you can find hundreds of videos on YouTube showing this experiment, which I cannot show you right now because we are recording. You can, or after this maybe I can show you that how this the process of losing of water of crystallization on heating some hydrated crystals take place. ठीक है, तो यहाँ पे वही सेम चीज वो लोगों ने एक एक्टिविटी के थ्रू बताया है. एक हार्ड ग्लास टेस्ट ट्यूब लिया है, उसको कॉपर सल्फेट क्रिस्टल से भर दिया, फिर उसको नीचे से हीट किया. ठीक है, हीट करने से क्या होगा कि क्रिस्टल्स में से स्टीम निकलेगी, स्टीम जैसा फ्यूम्स निकलेगा. ये जो फ्यूम्स है ये टेस्ट ट्यूब के दूसरे एंड में जाएगा, कंडेंस होके लिक्विड बन जाएगा, एंड दैट लिक्विड इफ यू कलेक्ट इन अनदर टेस्ट ट्यूब you will notice that it is water. ठीक है, how you test that it is water? तो तुमने वो लिक्विड कलेक्ट कर लिया, अब तुम्हारे पास बचा है यहाँ पे व्हाइट कलर का पाउडर. पुट द लिक्विड, द ड्रॉप्स ऑफ वाटर ऑन दैट व्हाइट पाउडर अगेन. व्हाइट पाउडर किसका है? ड्राई एनहाइड्रस कॉपर सल्फेट का. इफ यू पुट सम ड्रॉप्स ऑफ वाटर इनटू इट अगेन, इट विल कन्वर्ट इनटू ब्लू कलर्ड कॉपर सल्फेट बैक. जैसे ही उसमें कुछ ड्रॉप डाले तुमने पानी के, वो वापस ब्लू बन जाएगा. नो, इट्स अ केमिकल रिएक्शन, because that water of crystallization was loosely chemically combined. On heating, the water of crystallization went away. On adding water again it became hydrated, the salt. So it is a chemical combination. Yeah. So it proves that hydrated copper sulfate contains water, and that water is water of crystallization. So I just told you about hydrated and anhydrous substance. यहाँ पे definition दी है. The substance which contain fixed number of water molecules attached loosely to their one molecule are called hydrated substance. On strong heating, hydrated substance lose their water of crystallization. In doing so, they lose their shape and color and form a powdery substance. The compound left after heating is called anhydrous substance. Definition: the residue left when hydrated substance loses its water of crystallization is called anhydrous substance. Anhydrous substance regain their color on addition of water. Some substances have a tendency to absorb moisture from air and change into solution. Such substances are called deliquescent substances. Deliquescent, ये क्या करते हैं? डेलिक्वेसेंट सब्सटेंस को तुमने अगर सपोज ऐसे ओपन में रख दिया तो वो एटमॉस्फेयर से मॉइस्चर को एब्जॉर्ब करेंगे and they will dissolve in the same moisture and make a very strong saturated solution of that moisture which is absorbed by them from the atmosphere. तो ऐसे कुछ सब्सटेंस है जैसे कैल्शियम क्लोराइड, मैग्नीशियम क्लोराइड, मर्क्यूरी नाइट्रेट, जिंक क्लोराइड. दीज आर डेलिक्वेसेंट सब्सटेंसेस. You can do one experiment, and this is not the right time, but you can still try. In monsoon it is the right time because humidity level in air is very high, but still you can try. This is Mumbai and we are near the shore, so we can do this experiment. So what you can do is you can take a dish, a small dish, and put a little bit of salt in that dish and put that salt near your window. ठीक है? And observe it after a couple of days. You will find the salt to be completely wet. कभी देखा है ऐसा? Table salt गीला हो जाता है. You have table salt on your dining table.
Yeah.
You have.
Monsoon season, we put rice into sodium moisture.
So like
So you have observed that table salt becomes wet. Did you add water into it? Did you put it outside the window? No. Still it became wet. Why? Because it absorbed moisture from the surrounding and it became wet. So if you have not observed this, very difficult to experience. ये होता है, ये बहुत ही कॉमन है कि जो सॉल्ट का डिस्पेंसर होता है ना, उसमें से सॉल्ट बाहर नहीं आता, चिपक जाता है, पूरा वेट हो जाता है. No, sugar is not a salt. Sugar is another kind of compound. It is a covalent compound. It's not a salt. Salts are ionic compounds, and only salts show this behavior. That is the water of crystallization or hydrated or anhydrous.
that like when I take some salt and just put it in my hand and just goes like this, it becomes actually my hand is a little bit wet. And also the salt.
Yeah, so that happens due to our bodies. They have skins. They have pores, and continuously we perspire. Perspiration. Perspiration. नहीं, sweating. Perspire means to sweat. ठीक है? So when you perspire, that liquid or that sweat comes out through the pores of your skin. So what you told is when you held the salt in your hand, the salt might have got wet by absorbing the sweat from your skin. That is another phenomena, but what I am trying to say is completely different. If salt is kept out for some time, it will absorb moisture from the surroundings and become wet on its own. ठीक है? अब ये salt जो होता है, जो हम खाते हैं, that is sodium chloride. But it is not purely sodium chloride. It has some traces of magnesium chloride also. And magnesium chloride is highly deliquescent. Deliquescent means that salt will absorb water from the surroundings and dissolve in that moisture. ठीक है? That's why the salt becomes wet on exposure to air. That's why we always close the container after using the salt. We don't keep it open. Otherwise, it will become wet. Especially in monsoon where humidity is very high. Then there are hygroscopic substances. Substances which absorb moisture from the air but do not change their state. They just absorb moisture. So they are also known as drying agents. I'll give you a very good example. Hygroscopic substance. If you purchase a new water bottle or a bag or shoes, there is a small pouch of silica gel in that. Have you seen that? Silica gel? That's a drying agent or hygroscopic substance. What it does is it absorbs all the moisture from that closed box or the bag or whatever it is. So any moisture, if it is there in the surroundings, it will absorb. What is the need of absorbing moisture? Because if moisture remains there in a brand new bag or shoes, then it will smell. It will create bacteria and it will smell. The smell of decomposition or some natural process will start coming from there. And to stop the growth of bacteria, we should eliminate moisture. Moisture आया मतलब अलग हर एक टाइप का बैक्टीरिया ग्रो होना शुरू होगा. There will be mold or fungus or this or that. That is due to moisture. So we have to keep the moisture away. So we keep silica gel. ठीक है. There are other hygroscopic substances like quicklime, calcium oxide, quicklime, concentrated sulfuric acid H2SO4, very powerful drying agent or hygroscopic substance. Phosphorus pentoxide P2O5 is also a very good drying agent.
I came up with that yesterday when I was preparing for the test.
Okay. तो ये सब ना ये अलग अलग चैप्टर में दिया है ये सारी इंफॉर्मेशन, बट दे आर ऑल इंटरकनेक्टेड. केमिस्ट्री इज लाइक अ नेटवर्क. यू कैनॉट से ये चैप्टर में पढ़ा अभी आगे कहीं नहीं आएगा. इट इज ऑल इंटरकनेक्टेड. So it is likely that you will come across the same information again and again in different chapters, different topics, in different classes from 8th till 12th. So ये सब connected. You can't take anything lightly. Specifically ICSE chemistry. It's very vast. ठीक है. ये सब समझ में आया तुमको? We started with water of crystallization, hydrated anhydrous salts, then deliquescent and hygroscopic substances, and now we are on the reactivity series of metals. Why we are studying the reactivity series of metals? Actually the chapter is water. It is not about metals and non-metals, but still they have given the reactivity series of metals because metals also react with water, and their reaction with water depends upon their reactive nature, and every metal has a different reactive nature. Some metals are highly reactive. They react with metals explosively. Have you seen those videos on YouTube or social media where some fools they put sodium piece in water and then it explodes?
Sir, actually,
I've seen it.
I see the that Mentos is thrown in that.
Yeah, those are also different category of morons. They do that and they just laugh. They don't know anything about it.
Yeah, exactly. Maybe they are wasting so much of that.
Mentos and Coke,
Yeah,
which could be used for washing so many toilets. You are right, absolutely correct, yeah. But that is still bearable because that is nothing but waste. But this sodium is a very, it's not, you can't say very expensive metal, but yes, it is expensive. It is a metal, and it is to find sodium in its purest form is very difficult because it's so reactive that it is always found in combined form. तो वो क्या करते हैं कि सोडियम को पानी में डालते हैं और फिर भाग जाते हैं और वो ब्लास्ट होता है. और उसके ऊपर यूट्यूब वीडियो बना के वो लोग लाखों रुपए कमाते हैं. जस्ट इमेजिन. एंड इट इज अ सिंपल केमिस्ट्री that sodium is highly reactive. Sodium reacts with water vigorously. यहाँ पे जो reactivity series दिया है ना, I don't quite agree with it. Actually सबसे पहले पोटेशियम आता है, ये करेक्ट है. पोटेशियम के बाद सोडियम आता है और सोडियम के बाद कैल्शियम आता है. I want you to check it in your book.
yeah, it's sodium first, now sodium, and then
First potassium, then sodium, then
Yeah.
calcium, then magnesium, aluminium, zinc, iron. This is correct. Tin, lead. This is correct. Then comes hydrogen, then copper, mercury. I think mercury comes above, then copper, maybe silver, platinum, and gold. So this is all correct. So this is basically reactivity series of metal. As you go down in this series, the reactivity will decrease. As you go down in this series, the reactivity of metal will go on decreasing. इसका मतलब क्या है कि जो टॉप पे है, the metals at the top of the reactivity series will be highly reactive, will react vigorously with oxygen, with water, and with acid. These are the three compounds or elements with which metals can react: oxygen, water, and acids, mineral acids. ये तीनों के साथ मेटल्स रिएक्ट करते हैं.
Sure, sir, is that like the reactivity of potassium and sodium series?
No, potassium is higher. Potassium is the highest reactive. Then comes sodium, little less. Then comes calcium, lesser than the above two. And then the reactivity slowly decreases as you move down. Okay, so this is about reactivity series. You guys should, examination point of view से बता रहा हूँ, you should memorize the reactivity series. You should memorize the reactivity series. ये पूरी reactivity series को याद करना है तुम. क्यों? इससे तुम्हें पता चलेगा कि कौन से एलिमेंट, कौन से कंपाउंड, कौन सा मेटल कौन से एलिमेंट या कंपाउंड के साथ कैसे रिएक्ट करता है. यू विल बी एबल टू आंसर सो मेनी क्वेश्चंस सिर्फ ये एक रिएक्टिविटी सीरीज के टेबल्स के साथ. फॉर एग्जाम्पल, जो ऊपर वाला ग्रुप है, यहाँ पे लोग ने ग्रुप बना के दिए हैं. द फर्स्ट ग्रुप, हाईली रिएक्टिव, they react with oxygen without heating at room temperature. Means you even if you expose them in air, they will start burning.
Is it just for sodium?
Sodium, potassium, sodium, and calcium, all three. See, they have this common property. They react with oxygen without heating. If you just expose them in air, they will start burning, these metals, right? That's why they are stored under kerosene. They are stored under kerosene. Kerosene पता है ना? It's an oil. It burns basically. But they are stored under kerosene. मतलब केरोसिन के अंदर उसको स्टोर करते हैं ताकि ऑक्सीजन के साथ उनका डायरेक्ट कांटेक्ट ना हो. Then they react with cold water to displace hydrogen very explosively. यहाँ पे explosively word डालना चाहिए, because of those videos which we have seen on YouTube. I'll show you. If you don't believe me, I'll show you. There's so many idiots like that. And they react explosively with mineral acids as well to displace hydrogen. फिर आता है सेकेंड ग्रुप, मैग्नीशियम, एल्यूमिनियम, जिंक एंड आयन का. ठीक है, तो ये चार क्या करते हैं? दे रिएक्ट विथ ऑक्सीजन ऑन हीटिंग. इनको ऑक्सीजन के साथ रिएक्ट करवाना है तो इनको हीट करना पड़ेगा. They react with steam on heating and displace hydrogen. They don't react with cold water. They either react with boiling water or steam, and they have to be heated as well. And they react moderately with mineral acids to displace hydrogen. मतलब acids के साथ ये react करते हैं, but moderately, इतना explosively नहीं. फिर आता है tin और lead, third group. Same as above. If you heat them, they will react with oxygen, but they do not react with steam on heating and do not displace hydrogen gas. मतलब ये water के साथ किसी तरीके से react नहीं करते, tin और lead. And they react with mineral acids very slowly to displace hydrogen. मतलब ये acids के साथ react करते हैं लेकिन इतना strongly नहीं करते. फिर आता है हाइड्रोजन. देखो, हाइड्रोजन खुद एक नॉन मेटल है, बट फिर भी उसका एक्टिविटी सीरीज में रखा है बिकॉज इट कैन लूज इलेक्ट्रॉन्स एंड फॉर्म कैटायंस. मतलब वो पॉजिटिव आयंस बना सकता है बाय लूजिंग इलेक्ट्रॉन, इसलिए उसको यहाँ पे रखा है. और एक इसके पीछे एक क्लू है, दैट इज व्हाई हाइड्रोजन इज प्लेस्ड इन रिएक्टिविटी सीरीज, बिकॉज द मेटल्स अबव हाइड्रोजन will be reactive, more reactive. They will react with either water or acid to displace hydrogen, and the metals below hydrogen will be non-reactive, noble metals, not noble gases. Noble metals मतलब expensive metals, copper, mercury, silver, platinum, gold, all expensive. So what is the characteristics? Why they are noble metals? Because they do not react with oxygen, water or mineral acids. यहाँ पे बोला है copper and mercury react with oxygen on strong heating, and that is true. They react with oxygen, but they do not react with water. and they do not react with acids. So overall they are non-reactive. But silver, platinum and gold, they neither react with oxygen nor with water or steam and nor with acids. They don't react at all. I don't care what you found. Shut. बीच में क्यों बात करते? Shit, he just opened everything. The metal M is copper which reacts with oxygen. क्या है? आंसर दे रहा है सारे. You also have Apple Watch?
GPS.
What is that?
GPS.
अच्छा, Amazfit, okay. Okay. Looks like Apple Watch.
Yeah.
I don't know why they copy Apple. Now, you know how each and every metal react with oxygen, water and acid. Here are the chemical reaction, the balanced chemical equations. Sodium plus water gives sodium hydroxide plus hydrogen. You see what has happened? इसको बोलते हैं displacement reaction. We have seen na displacement reaction. Why is it known as displacement reaction? Because hydrogen is displaced from water when sodium reacts with water. Hydrogen displaced हो जाता है, इसलिए इसको displacement reaction बोलते हैं. Same goes with potassium and calcium. Magnesium and iron react with water, but not just water. They react with steam, and that has to be heated as well. Then only they will displace hydrogen. ठीक है, so सिर्फ action with water ही दिया है, action with oxygen and acids नहीं दिया है, because we are studying the chapter water. तो इसलिए सिर्फ water के साथ सारे metals के reaction दिए. तो metals कितने हैं? 5 metals, सोडियम, पोटेशियम, कैल्शियम एंड मैग्नीशियम एंड आयरन. बाकी कोई मेटल रिएक्ट नहीं करता. सो दैट यू हैव टू रिमेंबर. ओके, हार्ड एंड सॉफ्ट वाटर. एनीवन हैज एनी आइडिया रिगार्डिंग हार्ड एंड सॉफ्ट वाटर?
Soft water is whenever we just drop some soap in that, it forms some bubbles.
Very good, very good, very good. Have you ever had any experience with hard water?
No, just soft.
Just soft water. Where are you from? Like, where is your native place? Where? Oh, but there you should find hard water.
No, like I don't go there.
Have you been there ever? You've been there. Have you had bath there?
I don't know. I don't remember. I was small.
Acha, okay. So you've not been since a long time.
Yeah.
Hey, you just went actually.
Yeah, but I went to
Yeah.
yeah.
There also you should find hard water.
I didn't.
Have you experienced hard water ever in your life? Okay. So let me tell you, because you guys are fairly new to this concept of hard and soft water. Unlike many other Indians who deal with this problem in their daily life. So in interior parts of India, where it does not rain much, where people survive on groundwater, जैसे नॉर्दर्न इंडिया या सेंट्रल इंडिया का अगर एग्जांपल लें, जहाँ पे रेन बहुत कम है, तो वहाँ पे क्या होता है कि जो रिवर्स है, दे आर द ओनली सोर्स ऑफ वाटर. ठीक है, रिवर्स सिर्फ सरफेस पे नहीं होती है, अंडरग्राउंड भी होती है. So what they do is they obtain their daily requirement of water by digging a well. So they dig a well or they dig a bore well and they get the water from the ground. उसको बोलते हैं ground water. This ground water in certain region of our country has got many dissolved salts and minerals. Salts and minerals are naturally occurring minerals which are found underground. So these salts and minerals, they are dissolved in this groundwater. ठीक है. When this groundwater is used for various domestic purposes, first of all drinking, you will find the taste very different, very different. It will not taste like the water which we have over here. It will not also taste like mineral water. It will taste very different. Initially you will not like that taste. Achha, after you've had that water a considerable number of times, you will feel that your stomach is upset, because your stomach is not used to that hard water which has so many minerals in it. So you will have indigestion. You will not be able to digest that water. Your stomach will have difficulty initially, but when it get used to, then it's okay. Initially there will be a problem. So first problem came with drinking. Second, bathing. When you have a bath with this kind of water, you will notice that your normal regular soap will not form lather. झाग बोलते हैं ना उसको, झाग नहीं बनता. So when you have bath with such kind of water, you feel like you have not had bath. You feel dirty. In short, you feel just like you have done some time pass in bathroom. You just, water is finished, you've used everything, but you're not feeling like it's still sticky, and you know, so it is hard water effect. Third thing, washing. When you wash your clothes with hard water, the soap will not form lather, and it will seem, after washing, it will seem just like it was not washed properly. The smell or the stickiness or the freshness will not be there in clothes. So that's yet another effect. Utensils after eating your food will not be cleaned properly using hard water. So basically hard water is an issue. It's a problem. You cannot clean with hard water properly, because soap, which is a cleansing agent which helps us cleansing anything, does not have any effect on hard water. Does not mix properly with hard water. So, soap does not form lather with hard water. So this kind of water, is it good or not for day-to-day use? No, it is not good. So somehow this hard water has to be converted into soft water. Now what is soft water? Soft water is what we use every day. In here near Mumbai, where rain is plenty and you have all your water supplying lakes full for the whole year, almost a full year, you directly get water which is accumulated with the help of rain. Is it a groundwater? No, there is no need of groundwater. Rainwater is so much that there is no need of groundwater. There is groundwater beneath us. If you dig here, make a bore well, you will get water. But do you need that water? No, because the supply of water from the lakes and the whatever areas we have where we store water is plenty. So we don't need groundwater. That's why the water we get is soft water. It works very well with soap. It works excellent for bathing, drinking, washing, any job. Okay, and we feel fresh and there is no issue. Most of India, most population of India does not agree with us. For them, water is always hard. And so you should consider yourself lucky that after having bath you have no issues.
Sir, so does this soft water have any minerals in it or?
They do have minerals, but not many, and also no, not those kind of minerals which are found in hard water. So hard water has some specific kind of minerals. So what they have written over here is sample of groundwater which, instead of freely forming lather with soap solution, forms sticky scum or precipitate, is called hard water. And that's really a challenge. There are two types or two kinds of hard water: temporary and permanent hard water. Temporary hard water on boiling becomes soft. If you just boil it, it becomes soft water. So what happens is, on boiling, that salt becomes solid and you can filter it out. The salt which is dissolved, which is causing the hardness of water will become solid and you can filter that salt out. ठीक है? Permanent hard water is a sample of groundwater which even on boiling it does not let go of its hardness. It does not form lather with soap. It continues forming that scum. That is permanently hard. That permanent hardness can also be removed. Temporary hardness removing is very easy, just boil it. Permanent hardness removing requires some chemicals. So if you treat it with some chemicals, it will become soft. So that's what they do in the most parts of India where hard water is there. What they do is in their water tank, they add those chemicals with which the hardness is removed, and the supply they get is of soft water. Okay. So what is the cause of temporary hardness? Remember this: if the groundwater contains calcium hydrogen carbonate or magnesium hydrogen carbonate. Calcium hydrogen carbonate, I'll tell you the formula for calcium hydrogen carbonate. CaHCO3. CaHCO3 twice, I think. Yeah. And magnesium hydrogen carbonate, MgHCO3 twice. This is calcium hydrogen carbonate and magnesium hydrogen carbonate. They have another names: calcium bicarbonate, magnesium bicarbonate. These are the reasons for temporary hardness. And how you can remove temporary hardness? Boil the water. If you boil the water, this calcium hydrogen carbonate will convert into calcium carbonate, which is insoluble in water. You can filter it out. Magnesium hydrogen carbonate will convert into magnesium carbonate, which is also insoluble. Filter it out. Okay. So what happens to water when it becomes temporarily hard in nature? When rainwater flows over the surface of earth, it dissolves in it carbon dioxide gas present in air. When water containing carbon dioxide flows over the rocks containing calcium carbonate or magnesium carbonate, it reacts with them to form their respective hydrogen carbonates, and hence water becomes temporarily hard. So calcium carbonate plus water gives carbon dioxide plus calcium hydrogen carbonate. Magnesium carbonate with water gives plus carbon dioxide gives magnesium hydrogen carbonate. So these three elements, they combine. This from this land or the ground, this is the water of rain, and this is from air. They combine and they form these two compounds. So to remove temporary hardness, we just boil it. When we boil it, we get calcium carbonate, water and carbon dioxide escapes, and we can filter out calcium carbonate. Permanent hardness is caused by calcium chloride, magnesium chloride, calcium sulfate, magnesium sulfate. Remember 4 salts. These are the 4 salts which cause permanent hardness. And these are also found in earth, over the earth's surface or inside the earth, where they dissolve in water and make the water permanently hard. And permanent hardness is removed by treating the water with sodium carbonate or washing soda. You might have heard of this term, washing soda. If you have not, it's okay. When you go to a supermarket, ask them, where is washing soda? They will first look at you like this. इधर क्यों चाहिए washing soda? इधर तो soft water आता है. But they will eventually find and give one to you. And then you tell them, I don't need it. I just wanted to see it. And then look at their faces. So you can do that experiment whenever you go to supermarket and just record the whole thing and send it to me. Yeah, so washing soda is powder. It is basically sodium carbonate, Na2CO3. When you mix it with hard water, it reacts with calcium chloride and makes a double displacement reaction. Double displacement or double decomposition. What happens? Calcium chloride plus sodium carbonate gives calcium carbonate plus sodium chloride. Now sodium chloride is salt which dissolves in water, and calcium carbonate filters out because that is insoluble. So you can easily remove the permanent hardness. So washing soda is the magic powder which you can use for removing permanent hardness. What are the disadvantages of hard water? It is unfit for drinking purposes as it upsets stomach. It is unfit for washing clothes or bathing as it forms sticky scum rather than lather. It is unfit for raising steam in boilers as a white deposit of salt sticks to the sides of the boiler and reduces the boiling space. And it is unfit for dyeing clothes as the color tends to fade. So these are the some practical problems with hard water. Okay, the chapter is over. I'll send you the exercises and you can solve it and finish this chapter.